this part very often. After she had died, you know, I'm sitting there literally sobbing. My first nurse, so thoughtful and so sweet, she brought me to the delivery room and she said, here's where you will be for the rest of your time. Lavender oil, and she's like, I can give you a foot massage if you want. Like, she was so sweet. You know, did you have a name picked out for your baby? I told her name was Eileen, and she brought back a little like Eileen bracelet thing. Like, it is so sweet. She wrote like a sweet little quote on the bathroom door. All of this happened at like 10. Lena's dad, like, he got on a flight that was supposed to land at 6 p.m. And they basically said, we can't hold off until your partner gets here. We just risk more infection. And it's just, and I was like, it is what it is. Like, my two best friends are here. It's Rachel's husband, like, dropped off a bunch of food. Like, now I'm gonna start crying. And I don't cry when I talk about this very often, but my two best friends are angels. I couldn't have done it without them. I mean, physically getting to the hospital, I called Andy because he had to then come to my parents' house to be with Zach, and he literally came in like 0.25 seconds. Rachel and Maddie just like came and picked me up at the hospital, and like Rachel, she has a kid at home. Like, they stayed at the hospital with me for 14 hours. Get best friends like Rachel and Maddie, because I'm crying. I cry a lot. Like, I cry at everything. I don't cry a ton when I talk about this anymore because I'm in a much different place. I do sometimes, and today's the day. So they induced me, can't wait until your partner gets here because it's more risk for infection, and it kind of just happens as it happens. And so anyway, just kind of sat there and waited like for many hours. Literally just sat and talked with my two best friends, and it felt so weird. Like, time for like nurses shift change. Ellie, the first nurse, came in and said, you know, my shift is over. The next nurse you have is a little bit more quiet. I just like want you to know who she is. She's great. She's done this forever. Like, and then she came in, and her name is Pat. I adore Pat. She's the best. Soft-spoken and sweet. She's a little bit older. And she said, well, I want to tell you that when someone really important in this world dies, there's a lot of paperwork, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by it, and I don't want you to feel like you have to do it right away. Take your time with it. It's a lot. It's probably the last thing you want to do, but there is going to be a lot of paperwork, and I just want to warn you of that. That was the energy she gave me through the entire everything. And then she said, it's my understanding that your partner lands around 6. You know, if we can't wait for him, that's fine. And she was like, do you want to wait? And I said, I mean, that would be great. And she said, let me go talk to the doctor. The doctor came in and said, so we want to wait? And I was like, I thought we couldn't, you know? She's like, it's not that long. I think we're gonna be okay. Me and my brother, like, we're 13 months apart. Me sobbing. We've gotten a lot closer over the past year because of this. I texted him and told him, you know, Julius is flying in, and he goes, I'm gonna go pick him up. Thinking he is going to bring Zach in the car, go pick Julius up, and go back home. He called Zach's PCA and had her come over to be with Zach so that Andy could come be at the hospital. He just landed. My brother's gonna go pick him up. He'll be here in, 20 minutes or so. Right after that, I started to have contractions, and it started to be really painful. And they had explained a different combination of everything. Start off with fentanyl, I guess. got one round of that, basically lasted like 30 minutes, and then it was so painful. Such a combination of like emotional and physical pain that like I don't want to feel anything. Like I don't want to feel this. I mean, you do have like full contractions because you're literally giving birth. Finally came in, gave me an epidural. Lena's dad got there like right before I was gonna get an epidural, so like he, you know, held me as I was like literally getting this epidural in my back as I'm about to give birth to a dead baby. Like we're all just like standing around like laughing, chatting. They kept coming in and checking on me, and she's gonna come soon. So we're all sitting there talking, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know who went and got, I think Allie, my sister-in-law, like went and got the nurse. I don't know, somebody went and got the nurse. I wouldn't have had it any other way. Pat was so gentle. And before all of this, they had told me, you know, she might not look totally normal. I wanted to warn me of that. The first thing when a baby is born is to lay her on the mom's chest. And I said, I do. I want that. And I don't cry very much about this, but I don't talk about like this part very often. She came and, you know, they cut the umbilical cord and they immediately laid her on my chest. Maddie's always been like just so good at taking pictures, but she took a picture of when they did that. And again, I'm just like screaming. So much pain and like so heartbroken. I can't even like explain the feeling of what that was, but you know, Lena's dad is sitting right next to me, and my best friends are, you know, sitting at my legs and crying with me, and my brother, just perfect. The doctor said she might not, or you know, she might not look normal. She looked totally normal. Everything was perfect about her. She had little tiny little hands, little tiny little feet, like the size of not even, like her foot was smaller than my pinky. Her ribs, we could feel her ribs. And her little nose was so perfect. And her lips, like everything was just perfect.